Howdy peeps, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time here, which it may be. Stranger things happen. Just kick some things out of the way so I don't kneel on them. Right, oh. There might be loud cracking of knees and weird noises, but hey, I'm old and broken. So, what are we doing today? Today we're cleaning out my canister filter, a fluval 107. Not just cleaning it out, I will also talk you through how I set it up and my thoughts on filters in general. So as I said, first things first, we have a bucket which already has some water in it because we're doing the water change. And we have a small jug which hangs on the edge of the bucket, and a canister which we've obviously unplugged from the mains and get the hand down a bit, flip the valve up to turn off the water flow and removed the pipes so there's no drippy going on in the cabinet. Now I've left this quite a while, and to me quite a while for cleaning a filter may not be your quite a while for cleaning a filter. It's been 3 weeks. Oh, I just remember there's something else I've got to do first as well, so we'll just do that quick. Take but a few seconds. We have these pre-filter sponges which I put over the intake, mainly to stop things like fry or whatever getting sucked up, but we'll just take the dirty one off, throw it in the bucket, get the new one, squeeze the air out and try and get it back on, which is easier said than done. What I do is I change them over because it's just easier, and it means I don't have to sit here and make sure nobody goes swimming up the intake filter or filter intake before I actually put the new one on. Now we'll try and do this one-handed. Yeah, that'll do. I'll try and do it one-handed because I do sometimes like to keep one hand dry. Not that there's much point, but hey, at least it won't be dripping too much. So we've undone the filter. Now we'll get the lid off. Let the excess water drain out of that, which is quite a bit usually. It's amazing how much water these things hold. And we'll pop it up there on top of the towel. I'll just give the intake a squeeze out, the old intake sponge. It's amazing how much muck these things actually contain when you clean them out. And we'll find somewhere to put that for now. It's up there. Now, a lot of people get in a lot of mess when they try cleaning out filters, specifically canisters. What I find the best bet is take a bit out, clean it off, leave it in the bucket until you can get one of the crates out, or baskets. Now this is the top basket, the last one that the muck gets to, and this, as you can see, is just filter floss. So just give that quick rinse out. And you'll probably notice something as I'm cleaning out this, and we'll talk about that as we go. Something that is apparently missing, but isn't. So that's our floss cleaned out. Grab the top of the basket, pop it back on, job done. Balance it precariously there. Then we grab the second basket, which I just realised I'm not going to use the little jug, but hey, they're always good to have hanging about just in case. The little handle. And this basket contains a very slimy piece of floss. So we just give that a quick rinse out. But this is mostly self-explanatory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit in a more comfortable position so my back doesn't seize up. Oh, I say more comfortable. Just means I'm not going to injure myself as I do this. And we have the one piece of floss, 2 bits of foam. Is it, or is it one big chunky bit? No, it's just one big chunky bit. Now I clean my filters out regularly, usually at least once a week. Some tanks will get twice a week. That's a full filter clean, as we're doing here. And people will say, but Sharpie, what about your beneficial bacteria? Well, the beneficial bacteria are fine. Right, there's not some magical thing that's occurring. They will grow on any surface, anywhere there's food. And we remove the big sponges. And this is where most of the gunk normally is. So this is all the filter medium in this canister. And that's where the change that you'll notice from most people's, other than the fact that I clean it out more regularly. Yes, we don't have any special magical biomedia in there. We've got plenty of biomedia. All that floss, all this sponge. Bacteria is perfectly happy to grow on sponge. It doesn't need to be some specially branded product. It doesn't need to be slag from the glass blowing industry, or washed and overly expensive crushed pumice stone, or any of the other various things. Any of these products that have claims made about them that may or may not be accurate. True. Allegedly, just so nobody comes after me legally. There we go, all clean. So a filter has 2 main jobs to do. While we're putting that back in there, you imbecile, we've got to do the one thing you need to do. So the 2 jobs of a filter are, surprise surprise, if you need a pee, cover your ears. That's not too bad actually. So surprise surprise is filtering. Now that doesn't mean all your biological stuff, that means pulling muck out of the water. Their second most important job is to provide water flow and movement for oxygenation of your tank. Right. Get in there. Okay, that's it. That's what filters are for. don't overcomplicate it. That is all a filter does. It takes muck out of the water by making the water move through something that the muck will stick to. In this case, sponge and floss. Come on. That is. So that's all you need to know. Literally. Your bacteria will quite happily live in the tank. They live on whatever surface they fancy living on. Denitrifying bacteria, the ones that suck the nitrates out of the water. If I removed all those sponges in the baskets and stuffed them full of special media, I might get some nitrate reduction. Nowhere near as much as you'll get with plants, or if you can't have plants, a deep substrate bed. 3 inches of sand that you don't keep stirring up. And we'll save the gas thing to another video, because that's another myth. If you think about it, what is a canister filter? It's a high flow environment with high oxygenation. Denitrifying bacteria need low flow and pretty much zero oxygen. So they do really well in a deep sand bed. They don't do so well in here. And all this talk about micropores, that works fine. But if the bacteria do colonise it, the bacteria live, they die, they reproduce, etc. Those micropores soon get clogged up with dead bacteria. Or just general fish tank gunk. So there we have it. My views on canister filters. Are they the amazeballs sent from the gods things that people seem to make out they are? No. Yeah, they move a bit more water. Yeah, you can leave them a little bit longer between filter cleans. But it's a lot more faff and hassle to do it. The fluval U1 internal filter I've got in this Roma here takes about 2 minutes to clean out while I'm doing the water change. This, all the unplugging it, pulling it out from under the stand, all that stuff. Unless you've got a very large tank with or a tank with a very heavy bio load that produces a lot of poop. So we're talking pleco tanks, goldfish tanks, maybe one of your African mutt cichlid tanks, which is another subject. I've never kept them, but I do have ideas on that, which I might cover in another video at some point and upset a lot more people. But most fish tanks, you don't need a big canister filter. Most fish tanks, a sponge filter is perfectly adequate, or maybe a couple. An internal filter is just so much easier to look after than an external. You don't get any water on the floor with the external one, and you've got to try pretty hard. You don't even have to unplug it. You just pop the lid, pull the foam, sponge, whatever out, squeeze it out in the water you've taken out to clean and do your water change with, and then put it back in. It takes a couple of minutes. Provides plenty enough flow, plenty enough filtration. And if you're doing your weekly water changes, clean your filter at the same time. It doesn't really add any time to it. Anyway, it's enough of me waffling before I really start upsetting anyone that thinks that biomedia and canister filters have some kind of magical power, or Seachem Prime is the solution to all ills in a fish tank. Yes, I have opinions and I use them, but hope you enjoyed, maybe made you think a bit. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Membership's always open. You can become a Zach friend. But yeah, enjoy your hobby. Think about things when people tell you them. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye.